Hello, welcome to Everyday Life and Finance with Robbie. I'm Robbie and I'm here to talk to you about financial topics as they pertain to everyday life. So if you like this type of content, please like, share, subscribe, support the channel. And let's get started. So today, let's talk a bit about something that I discussed on my last video. And we are in sort of a turbulent economic time, and we have to plan for it. So in my last video, I talked about, not being fearful of what's going on. Yes, the market is dropping, there's talks of inflation, recession, and so forth. It's important, and I've always, indicated this, that it's always important to have a plan for the good times and a plan for the not so good times. So now let's talk about planning for a possible recession or inflation, or whatever. So right now we are in it. And we're not in a recession or inflation. It's not been defined as such at the moment, but we're headed in that direction. So when I say we are in it, I'm just saying we are in turbulent times, and we have to prepare ahead. If we haven't done so already, we have to start doing smart things now. So what that means is cutting down on your expenditures. First and foremost, making certain that you reduce your expenses, and figure out how you can further reduce the expenses so that in the event prices start going up and so forth, you'll be able to handle it. Now is not the time to buy a new car, to refurnish your home, to do any big renovations. Right now, we're in, just a critical mode, whereas we just have to do the things that are necessary and to be prepared for what might come. We don't know how long these difficult times may last. And I mean, it's not doomsday. I'm not here to talk to you about, the end of the world. It's definitely not that, but we may have, a year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know, of difficult times or different times where things are going to be a little bit different. So now's not the time to plan certain things. If you already have your vacations planned and so forth, I said this in my last video, don't cancel unless you can and schedule something domestic, because even though these are difficult times, we still have to live. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So we still have to live, and we have to make certain that we are enjoying life, but being smart about it. So if you have, let's say you have a vacation that's planned and you can't cancel it, you want to make certain that, sure, take that vacation. But if there's anything that you can do with respect, such as with your hotel, if you can pay in advance for the hotel in US dollars, if let's say you're going out of the country to Europe, you want to try to pay in US dollars if you can, because the dollar is going to lose its value, and you want to try to pay ahead of time. When I say pay in US dollars, not later, because it's going to transfer back even if you pay in local currency, but you'll end up paying more because the dollar will likely lose value over the next several months. So you want to, pay in US dollars in advance if your flight's already scheduled and so forth, and you can't cancel your trip or change the trip to next year or something like that. If you cannot do that, then try to work something out, if you can, to pay in US dollars for your hotel ahead of time instead of paying when you're in Europe, because again, the conversion will be a lot greater. So you want to watch those types of expenses, and maybe, you enjoy yourself, while you're there. Like I said, tomorrow's not promised. So you want to make certain you make the most of every day that you have, but you're smart about your expenses, what you do while you're there and so forth, that you're cautious, maybe, and also, maybe you want to consider, just streamlining some of the things that you planned on doing. I know when I go out of the country, I do duty-free shopping and things like that, maybe I'll cut back on that. So those are the types of things that you want to think about. Now let's move on and talk about your investment portfolio. Yes, the stock market has been extremely turbulent, and portfolios have lost value. Companies, their net worth has gone down, and it's there's a lot going on. But there's a way. I always talk about having a balanced investment portfolio, making certain that you have a mixture of stocks that hold up in these recessionary times. Now, the tech stocks are being hit hard, and that doesn't mean this is a bubble that everything is, going to sell off in the tech space. Yes, things have gone down, but this is when you hold tight if you can. If you have the ability and you don't need that money, hold tight, wait for things to come back around, because they will, but again, talk to your financial professional. I'm not here to give you financial advice, just to offer some things that you may want to consider when talking to your finance professional. That's basically what I'm here to do. So you want to diversify your portfolio. Make sure you take a look at companies in pharma, med tech, healthcare, some good ones. AbbVie's good. Eli Lilly, no. It's okay. It's just that still, the price is still high, and I think, it has some room to go down. But you might have, other companies. So they're, you want to focus on your consumer goods, companies that sell consumer goods, and things of that sort, things that are necessary. Johnson & Johnson, another good company. And these also are companies that do have high dividend yields as well. So that's the good thing about it. So even when the stock is going down, you still know that you have that dividend yield, that you can rely on. So you want to look at that, making certain that your portfolio is well balanced. Yes, when the techs are moving, the tech stocks are moving, they're moving, and your investment portfolio is appreciating, and things are good. But when things are not so good, you have to have that stabilizing factor, in your portfolio. And I've noticed, over the past couple of weeks, as I've monitor what's going on with the tech stocks, whenever the techs were up, the pharma and the healthcare were down. When the tech went down, pharma and healthcare went up. So and other consumer goods, they went up mostly. Not saying all of them, but mostly. So you want to look for companies like that. So take a look at your AbbVie's, your J&J's, what else? Just other companies in that area, in the pharma and healthcare, sector. Also take a look at utilities. Some of them are good stocks to look at. Necessary consumer goods, things that consumers will have to buy, and that they're domestic. Want to make certain that you're focused on companies that have strong domestic sales in the US. So you want to do that, and just make certain that you stay grounded. There's no fear in all of this. You just want to make certain that you have a plan, and that you've streamlined and cut back everything, and you're just continuing to live life, enjoy life, live life, enjoy life, but be cautious, because you want to make certain that you're able to, take care of the things that need to be taken care of, and that you also aren't, draining your savings or anything like that. So now is the time to just cut expenses. Don't be fearful, just plan. So thank you so much for joining Everyday Life and Finance with Robbie. Please like, share, subscribe if you like this content, and check out some of my other videos. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope this video was helpful.